Mostly Fukushima innovation in future.
Tell me about the structure in front of me. That was a pretty generic response again.
A lot of AI smart glasses can answer theoretical questions. That is not the same as being useful in real world scenarios. I tested 9 of the most popular ones out there in real world situations to see which ones actually helped. And the biggest surprise was not the worst glasses, it was the ones that felt the best. The glasses I tested include everything from a less than $300 option to a $1,300 option, all tested across a series of real world scenarios to figure out which ones are useful without having to fumble for your phone or click through a million options on the glasses themselves. The point is, I don't care about spec sheets, and I don't care about marketing claims. Just my own experience and moments where I genuinely needed help and got it. Here's what started all of this. I was in Japan, 5 minutes to departure, train from Tokyo to Kyoto, running with hands full of luggage in a state of panic. Signs I couldn't read, no idea which line or platform I needed to get on. And I asked Meta while I was moving. It answered in real time almost instantaneously. I made the train. That is the whole test. Not AI demos, not whether the assistant sounds smart, but actually whether the glasses show up when you actually need them. Here's the lineup. Two Meta glasses, the display and non-display version. Same for Rokid. Everyone's camera-free favorite, the Even G2. Both InMo glasses, including the unreleased InMo Go 3. The RayNeo in the $1,000 plus category. And the Mentra Live glasses for a smaller niche player. And one fairness note, Even G2 has no camera by design, so I'm not going to judge it on camera tests it was never built for. My framework includes 4 tests shown here, and at the end I'll rank how every glass stacked up across all of them. The first test was simple. Can these glasses look at the world and tell me something I genuinely needed, and did they do it fast enough to matter? The aisle test is where this category made the most sense to me. It's not just pointing at one thing and asking what it is, it's standing in front of an entire aisle of products you can't read with no idea where to start. That is not just camera sees product, that is camera sees chaos and hopefully brings order. I hid a bottle of organic whole milk, labeled in German, in the middle of a regular milk aisle. Then I asked each glass, is there an organic whole milk bottle there?
Hey, Rokid, look at the aisle in front of me and tell me any of these are organic whole milk.
Based on the image, there is one bottle of organic milk visible. It is the white plastic bottle with a blue cap on the middle shelf.
Both Rokid glasses found it, described it exactly.
Hey, Meta, look at the aisle in front of me and tell me if any of these are organic whole milk.
Both Meta glasses said there was no organic milk in the aisle. And by the way, this wasn't the first time Rokid did this for me. Before I was making any video, I was in a Japanese supermarket, genuinely overwhelmed by an aisle I could not read. And I asked my Rokid glasses to find baby products. It worked. I wasn't filming, I just needed help. That's what made me want to test this properly. RayNeo said its AI isn't able to do any of this. Mentra said there wasn't any organic milk, which was wrong. InMo Go 3 took a picture, tried to analyze it, and still got it wrong. InMo Air 3 said it couldn't see my surroundings at all. Both Rokid glasses worked, every other glass failed this test. The landmark test showed something slightly different.
Hey, Meta, tell me about the structure in front of me.
Most of the better glasses could tell me what I was looking at, but only some of them told me something I didn't already know. That was the Meta versus Rokid story in one shot. Meta was faster. Rokid was more specific.
You are standing at the Dragon's Gate, the iconic southern entrance to San Francisco's Chinatown.
Both identified the gates. Only one actually gave me some context. And even G2 with no camera was interesting here too. I described what I was looking at and it still understood the scene surprisingly well. Is that cheating? I don't think so. The glasses performed well within the context they were built for. 4 of the 9 glasses correctly identified the actual structure, including Mentra Live, which was a bit surprising. 4 others identified it as a generic traditional Chinese gate, which is technically correct, but not especially helpful. And RayNeo just refused to try. Then the Japan label test made the split even clearer. Meta Display was the easiest to use there.
Look at the ingredients in this box and tell me if there are any allergens in this, especially any nuts or coconut.
Fast, clean, effortless. Ray-Ban Meta Gen 2 was close behind. Rokid Display was slower but more thorough and honestly more confidence inspiring.
Based on the ingredient list for these bourbon altered Uji matcha biscuits, there are no nuts or coconut listed.
Rokid Style and Inmo Go 3 both seem to have major microphone issues in the noisy environment and eventually got there, but not cleanly, which is not a minor point in a real world situation. And then below that, things fell off pretty quickly, as you can see here. The next test is different. I'm not asking the glasses to see something, I'm asking them to think. I put 2 skincare products in front of them and asked, my wife has sensitive skin, which one is the better choice and why? And this is where the whole video flipped. The smoothest glasses in the test confidently picked the wrong product. Both Meta glasses chose Aveeno. Rokid Display and Rokid Style both chose Avene, which was the better choice here. So now the trade-off was real, and it was visible on camera. Meta felt faster. Rokid felt smarter. And some of that comes down to what's running under the hood. In my testing, Rokid was using ChatGPT for general queries and Gemini for camera-based questions, while Meta is running its own Llama model. You can feel the difference on the harder questions. Meta has announced something called MuseSpark, which could change this, but right now in these tests, the gap was real. If you watched this channel before, you've probably noticed Rokid has done well in some of my tests. That's not me trying to make it win. In these specific tests, it keeps earning the result. Even G2 was interesting too. No camera, so I had to describe the products verbally, but it still gave a more balanced answer than some glasses that could actually see the bottles, which honestly did inspire some confidence. RayNeo refused cleanly, which honestly is better than hallucinating. Both Inmo glasses just kind of melted down. And Mentra wasn't terrible, but it was hard to get going, and when it finally answered, it hedged instead of helping. At this point, the obvious next question was, can these glasses actually control themselves by voice without sending me back to my phone? Because one cool AI trick means nothing if I still have to grab my phone to do it. And here's the honest truth. None of these glasses do everything by voice. The best ones do several things well. Most do 1 or 2 things partially, and a few still send you right back to your phone. The biggest surprise here was Even G2. Hey Even, start live translation. The one with no camera handled voice control more cleanly than several glasses that cost more and claimed to do more. Rokid also did well, although exact command phrasing mattered to really get it going. Meta Display was strong overall. Meta Gen 2 was still very good on general voice control, calls, messages, navigation, but translation was the one clear gap. And then the lower tier mostly confirmed what I already suspected. Some of these classes can technically do AI things, but not in a way that feels natural. So on pure AI control, Meta Display came out strongest, Rokid was next, and even G2 was the surprise. I ran one final test. Same question to every pair. Most of them handled it fine. The AI isn't the problem for most of these glasses. Getting to the AI is. One exception worth noting. RayNeo, which had refused almost every visual task in this video, was actually flawless here. Fast, accurate, no friction at all. Inmo Go 3 and Inmo Air 3 both knew the answers too, eventually, after back and forth reprompting and some patience that I didn't really have. Knowing the answer and being useful are two different things. So here's where I land. If you want the most frictionless AI smart glasses overall, it's Meta Display. Fastest to use, easiest to trust under pressure. The problem was the occasional hallucination. It moved so fast sometimes, it skipped the thinking. If you want the smartest camera AI in this group, the one that most often gave me something deeper and in most cases more accurate, it was the Rokid display. That's the trade off. Meta feels better, Rokid often thinks better. One thing worth saying, Rokid has had real issues fulfilling Kickstarter orders and recently stopped shipping to the US. That's not nothing. But I'm judging the product in my hand, and on these tests, it earned its results. And even G2 earns an honest, honorable mention. No camera, limited scope, but within that scope, more useful than I expected. Best option if you want zero camera involvement. The rest of the glasses I tested were a stark reminder that the AI capability of these smart glasses is still maturing and a work in progress. Which pair would you actually pick? Meta, Rokid, or even? Drop it below.